The Sex Ed with Tim podcast is recorded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands.
You're listening to Sex Ed with Tim.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. I'm your host, Tim, certified sex educator, local chaotic homosexual, and why are gay guys always ready to move out? Because we already have our shit packed. You like that one?
Yeah, it's good.
So old, but like gets me every time.
No, you got to stick with the classics. You know,
oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Have you ever got your shit packed?
I've been pegged.
Oh, nice.
A bunch, yeah. Oh my god. I think 2024 we should really do the anal party. We should really promote anal sex. It's an election year, you know, why not?
Everyone's getting fucked this election year.
Yeah, everyone's getting fucked anyway, right? So yeah, it's a great
might as well.
So, anal sex 2024. Yeah, butt plugs, anal sex, pegging, all that stuff. I've never had a human penis inside me. It's on my ass, you know. But yeah, whatever. I'm a whimsical guy.
Whimsical. That's a way to describe it. Whimsical.
Yeah, but I seriously peg. Yeah, definitely. Pegging though is something that not only the act of it, the symbolism of it, the image of it, you know, a woman with a big strap on and making a man specifically bow down to her for some reason. I don't know. It just does something for me. And
I love it. I mean, I'm personally like, I need a guy with a huge honking sausage between his legs to just stab me until it comes out of my throat. It's a great feeling. It's great. But before we move on, my chlamydiates who are listening right now, I got that's the name of my fans, my chlamydiates. I got a very special guest. He is a kinkster, an author, a podcaster. I was on his show, I think a few months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago.
And you were sexy as fuck, too.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
You have this energy about you. I loved him. Seriously, you do. You have that fire in you. I love it. All right, sorry.
It's not just no, that's fine. It's not just the gonorrhea that's on fire right now, but I guess I really am on fire. Folks, I have with me here on the show Nick Tanek from Your Kinky Friends podcast. Nick, how are you doing, my old friend? How have you been?
I'm well. I'm alive. I'm alive. Fresh off a liver transplant 2 years after, and I'm staying kinky, and I'm preaching the word of kink and freedom.
Did you have like some sort of exchange program with your other liver? Gave it away?
It's a good question. Yeah. No, my other liver basically was like, yeah, fuck this world. And it's just, I saw it too. Fair. I did. I saw it. I wanted to keep it. I wanted to like hold it, keep it in a jar on my desk as a constant reminder. But yeah, I saw it and it's gone. But the person who gave me the liver, they, from what I know, a 55-year-old man, a car accident. And that's all I know. I wrote him a very passionate letter that was in the moment. I'll stand by it. You know, it's great. Thankful. I'm so thankful.
Wow. And, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should eat his ass as a thank you or something. Not just a letter.
Well, he's
something more memorable. Oh, right. Well, you know, that means he can still consent, kind of. Or there's no need for consent. No, I'm kidding.
Now, were you ever... Let me ask you this. Were you ever in love that much or so passionate with somebody that, like, you were like, even after I'm dead, I still want you to fuck me, or I still... Because I was on my deathbed, And I was telling the woman who was taking care of me, I was like, just put your pussy on my face. Let me go. Like, that's the way to go.
I don't think I've ever been in love, but I have had this one client, actually, back when I was escorting, who would fuck really, really well. He did pass away, and I was like, you know what? If I could just get my hands on his cremations, his ashes, put it in some curry so I can shit him out and feel him dribble out my ass one last time. If I could have
that is so romantic,
happen, right? Just so he could like
really is romantic.
Yeah, so he could burn my ass one last time.
I see the romance in that. I do.
Disgusting. I'm not joking. Oh my god, that's a biohazard.
But you know what? Love is disgusting. I'm not saying true. Do it. We're talking about whimsical brainstorming, kink, and stuff.
Love is disgusting. Do you ever talk about that in your books at all?
How love is disgusting?
How love has made you done some shit.
In the coolest way to kill yourself, I have a whole chapter called The Poetic Ballet of Vomit. This was written before I delivered transplant, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. Well, drugs and alcohol and stuff like that really messed my body up. But I get disgusting. I get really disgusting, and I'm talking because there's pegging in the book, and there's whenever you peg somebody, there's gonna be stains that like get around the room.
Oh my God!
Happens.
Yep, shit happens.
So please, everybody, it's very important. Let's just take a time to recognize that we all must clean our sex toys. Everybody. Thank you.
And also just like have baby wipes on deck, like at the ready.
Yeah.
So that you can wipe and then keep it the fuck on. Keep moving.
We had an episode where we made a BDSM safety kit, and those were in it. What do you have back there? The statues, the figurines. I can't really make out what it is. I see the dick pillows. I've seen that. My friend Luna has one of those, but not a white one. But on the shelf.
Actually, if you look closely at all of my shit back there, so this shelf is actually a whole bunch of sex stuff. The middle one being
cool.
A bunch of lubes and lotions, oils. Those are all the liquids. And then the top and the bottom shelves are toys. So over here, they're like a little more on the kinky side of it. So a lot of sharp stuff, a lot of like needles, syringes. And then on the bottom, you've got your run-of-the-mill dildos, vibrators, plugs. And then if you're talking about the ones overhead, these are just my figurines. Like it's a bunch of Harley Quinn. I'm a huge fucking nerd. And then you know what? I don't care who judges me, but I have been getting a lot of compliments from other guys who see my collection and then they're like, that's really hot. And then I get laid a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah. You could tell a lot about a man by what he collects, like the records, the films, just the taste that he has in, I'm not really into sports, but sports, even like you tell a lot about what they like, what a person likes. So what do you like, Tim?
Sexually?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. My God. I've been fucking for so long that it's almost hard to like list. So, my God, I like everything and anything under the sun. I think a shorter list would be what I don't like.
I know. I'm gonna say remember we started doing the underrated, overrated on my show, and I just decided, I was like, everything is underrated, everything is awesome. Why we
exactly.
We're just really hypersexual, horny motherfuckers.
Yeah. What about you? What are you into? You asked me this. I forgot to ask you that.
I am a kinkster to the core. I'm a switch. So I love having the comfort of switching. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want to, in the kink community, especially people new who if you're a dom, you're a dom. If you're a sub, you're a sub. It's not like that. Life is not like that, people. No, people are complicated. Sometimes I like to be, tied up. So sometimes I'm in a chastity device right now.
Are you really?
And yeah, hell yeah. I'll be like, this before this interview, sunshine, right? She goes, I want to fuck you later. It's like, yeah. So it's like, it's scheduled. I get let out. Everything is great. It's fun. And I love submission. I do. Throughout the years, don't get me wrong, I'm a very dominant person. I just dominated this conversation. But I love submission. I love serving. I really do. And throughout the years, I feel like I've been so selfish my whole life, which is, you got to get things done. In order to get things done, you got to be selfish, you know? But, I'm looking back, I find such pleasure in serving, in making someone happy, in making someone come, and not worrying about if I come or not. Although, like, I earn it. That's the way it is, So I fuck hard and long when I'm out, So yeah, I serve this royalty. That's what I fucking do.
I love it. I'm like that. Also, here's the thing with me. I'm a very selfish lover. I really don't care if the other guy comes or not. I just don't give a fuck. Sorry. Like, if I come...
Have you used sissies before?
Sissies. Can you describe...
your cock.
Can you describe a sissy? I probably have, but I don't know.
Okay, you're going to like this. So there's a whole group of people around the world called sissies. And the whole narrative is dominatrixes take men, and they're not gay, but they dress them up in women's clothing, put chastity devices on them, feminize them totally, force feminization, and force them, quote unquote, force, right? Yeah, they're so forced to suck cock and to basically only come from anal sex and only serve. So basically, you see a sissy. Traditionally, their role is they're supposed to suck your cock. All the sissies I know, like they're, but you have to be polite, consensual. It's always about consent, obviously.
Well, whatever. Jesus, everything's always about consent. I'm so over it.
So, do you have any sissies, Tim?
Not in my personal sex life, but in my professional sex life, I've had sissies, like clients who were sissies. They specifically asked if they could. I mean, like, whatever they wanted to do, but for the most part, the guy just wanted to dress up like a little girl and like the whole Catholic schoolgirl uniform. And then he wanted me to like be the principal or whatever, like play this sort of like dommy teacher. And then he was supposed to like, do something for extra credit. Exactly. Yeah. You got it.
You're late for class again, and your grammar is terrible.
Yeah. And then I had to bend you over.
Start using big vocabulary words.
Yeah. Like anti-disestablishmentarianism. Oh, come. Yeah. Exactly. And I would bend him over and then get like my ruler. Yeah. You're so like
you're being obtuse.
Obtuse. The juxtaposition between this
very loquacious and gregarious.
Oh my God. I'm gonna come right now. Yeah, it was like one of those kinds of incidents. It was very much a client. Like, here's the thing. I'm so much kinkier when it came to my escorting life, but as in my personal life, I'm really not that kinky. I'll partake in kink every now and then, in the sense that like, okay, choke me. I want to get like roughed up. I want to get tied to a St. Andrew's cross, like use some rope, handcuffs. But like I would say that happens maybe like once a month or something. But for the most part, I'm just like, you know what? I just want to get the job done. I want to get out of here.
We'll be right back after this commercial break. Yes!
Hey, you sick motherfuckers. I've got a special treat for you. Need a new toy to spice up your sex life? Head over to loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and get yourself a cock ring, a dildo, a vibrator, or even a life-sized sex doll. Damn, I guess love really does come in all shapes and sizes. Get 15% off your entire order when you use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout. They're shipping to all of Canada and the United States because North America is horny. That's loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and use code SEXEDWITHTIM for 15% off your entire purchase. Happy orgasm! Do you like feeling sexy and looking sexy? Of course you do. Only my listeners are sexy as fuck. I have partnered with fetishwear designer Dale Kuda to bring you the hottest deals on custom jockstraps, harnesses, hats, and more. Head over to dalekuda.com, that's DALEKUDA.com, and use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout for 25% off the entire store. Yeah, you heard me. 25% off. And cherry on top, free shipping. Oh my god. I have a few of the stuff that he has made for me, and girl, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing like a little jockstrap so that I could easily just like slip a little butt plug or dildo every now and then here and there, and I'm on the train, I'm just like thank you, Dale. That's dalekuda.com with the code SEXEDWITHTIM for 25% off your entire purchase with free shipping. With a deal like that, I swear I could come buckets, honey. Mm-hmm.
The show is about to begin. Yes.
It's interesting. I was thinking about what you were saying, and how a lot of, I think your kink, you said, it came from escorting. Mm-hmm. Your exposure to kink came from escorting, where I think most people exposure to kink comes from like the willingness or like the urge to be kinky, where they seek it out, where you didn't seek it out. It came to you, like financially. It became a job, right? So,
literally everything I learned about kink was on the job. Yeah. It was literally on the job. I had to like do my own research, and I had to ask and like kind of crowdsource all of the information from other escorts to be like, how do I do this? How do I choke properly? How do I use a plastic bag over his mouth properly? Things like that.
So do you think being exposed to kink that way, how do you think it's changed you as a person as opposed to other people?
I've become a psychopath. I have an urge to murder. I have homicidal tendencies. No,
please don't kill me. Wait, wait a second. Right. I have a murder fetish. So I did write a book called The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself. How about you kill me? We make it. Well, you try to kill me. We make it a thing. We make a whole bunch of money from it. We both write books. There's a movie involved, and then we podcast about it.
The coolest way to kill someone else.
Yeah.
Jesus.
This is what I love about the kink community is I'm so guilty of it. I am the poster child of it. The whimsical nature of it. We're all daydreamers. We're all like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this and this and that? Like, and it all stems from sex. It all stems from sex because of being imaginative in the bedroom. What was the last imaginative thing you did in the bedroom?
The last imaginative thing? I was imagining a burger.
Wow, that was fun. Or that was,
Honey, I was imagining a burger. I was so hungry. I wanted to get the hell out of there. I was like, this guy's taking too long. It's been an hour and he hasn't come yet. Fuck. And he was going soft on me. I was like so tired. It's like 8:30 already, and I'm like, I need to go.
And you didn't eat dinner yet?
No.
You didn't eat dinner yet?
No. My God.
And were you thinking of like the lettuce and the sauce on the bun?
I was thinking about everything. Oh my God.
The smell.
I could have had like a hot dog. I could have had some tacos. Listen, when you're bottoming, you cannot have dinner. It's not.
And I'm
sure
the
cards.
guy. And is the guy fucking you like this magical experience? Like you love it, and you're like, yeah, I'd love a burger.
Yeah, I'd love to have some dinner right now. I'd love to have a Coke, and I'd love to have a Big Mac, and I would love for you to leave.
Oh shit!
Oh my God,
what was that? I think it was an old Andrew Dice Clay joke. I'm not promoting Andrew Dice Clay or anything like that, but he's got a joke where it's like, "This is how I have sex. Get out.
That's great. That's great. Oh my God. Do you have any sort of like stories in your book that are that crazy?
Craziest. I don't know about crazy, but there's a all right, like here. There's something called The Egg. This is not that crazy. It really isn't, but the people liked it a lot. Basically, I have a lingerie fetish, and it's really, really hardcore. And both of us, we were recovering drug addicts. So like this lifestyle is very new to us. And nowadays this seems very, very, very tame. Really. You're going to be like, what, whatever. But emotionally it meant a lot, right? I found an egg, a little sex toy egg, and it's a black egg, and it's got a little tail. It's cute, kind of looks like a mouse. Right? And you slide it right in. Of course, what we do is, what I would do is we go to the mall, right? And we dress up, garter belt, stockings, both of us. Now, this is a time where we're doing femdom and we're switching, right? So if I was at work, I would have to be in garter belts and stockings and chastity, and she'd send me porn and then quiz me on it and stuff like that. So I'm always horned up, right? Always horny. And whenever she wants me to get to fuck her, she lets me out and I fuck her, which was often, right? But this little egg, I have a lingerie fetish. So I took her shopping. We went to the car and I made out. And I was so incredibly, I had the fire in me, the fever in me. My hands all over it. I'm sexing her up and making her feel as beautiful as possible. I'm buying her lingerie. I make her come in the car. I slide the egg inside of her because she's nice and wet then. And I have a remote control, and then we go shopping. And we go shopping through the mall, and she keeps the whole thing inside her the whole time. When I see something I like, and keep in mind, I have a lingerie fetish, so I like a lot of things. I have the remote control, and I could adjust if it goes faster or slower or anything like that. Yeah, I wrote a whole chapter all about it. I don't do it justice on this podcast, but read it. Please read it. It's The Egg. And then we did another thing. I did a live reading on Your Kinky Friends. I really, I'm going to do it on the show, I think, too, where it's just capturing just being in chastity, being locked in panties under all my work clothes and doing tasks, taking her to the doctor, and her basically trying to get me so excited while driving that will I go off the road? Stuff like that. So basically, just so to get this out of the way, the book, The Coolest Way, it all stems from The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself. So there was this woman when I met in high school. Her name was Lynn, and we were both writers. We fancied ourselves as poets and writers, very pretentious bullshit, but we ate it all up. I'd get published, she wouldn't. And everything I got published, it was for like a person I was infatuated with, a woman usually. And she'd always say, no one's ever going to write anything for me. So after she died, Hurricane Sandy hit. I had to move in with my parents for a little while. We didn't have any energy, any power because of the hurricane. So we had a generator. I had to plug my computer into my generator, and I wrote The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself. All about it. It's a tribute to her. And this is a woman who was abused throughout her life. We were in high school. I broke her heart. We were just druggies. We smoked a lot of pot, went to a lot of raves, did a lot of ecstasy. And that book, I tried to capture that kind of time period because there's not like a lot of realistic representation of that time period. And 15 years later, we got back together. And I like to say we put the bond in bondage. I also like to say that like I said before, true love is not having to clear your browser history. So this is in the book too, in one of the sex stories. I know it's taken me a long time to get to it, but she was in and out of the hospital for ovarian cancer, but she loved porn. And we loved talking about sex. It's like we finally found each other, and we finally found someone who we could talk about sex so openly with, so comfortable, and also do stuff with too. So she knew that she knew the porn I liked, which is like, I was watching Starla Vamp and Mistress T and Kendra James. Starla Vamp, I'm friends with her now, but she loved it. And she came back from the hospital. She was feeling better. Comes out of the bathroom, garter belts, stockings, corset, with panties in one hand and hospital restraints in the other. And I'm like blown away just looking at her. I'm just like, and she knows, she goes, I know what you look at. It was like out of a porno movie, I swear. So she take it, but we're a couple though. So it's fun and stuff like that. I would give her porn that I like. I was like, what do you think of this? And she'd give me porn. I'm like, what do you think of that? So she took off my pants, took the hospital restraints, which she got from the hospital, from being in and out of the hospital, tied my hands to the bottom of the couch, took off my boxers, my Calvin Klein boxers, and then took this black silk panties and put them on me. And I was hard as a rock. She basically fucked me, basically, and said, I own you now. And that started a whole thing of being switches, but the forced feminization. We both had French maid outfits. She made me clean the house and serve her, stuff like that. But on the flip side of that, she was a switch and I was a switch. She liked being degraded, so she would find women and bring them home for me to fuck in front of her. So Lynn would be in the corner watching us, and I'd be with this other woman, and I'd have to make love to this other woman, and I would have to, and this was not my idea, I would have to be like, this woman is a better lover than you. Look at her, her tits are so much better than yours. Her body, she's everything. And she would masturbate. Lynn would masturbate in the corner, and the other woman would do things like have me come on Lynn's face, stuff like that, while we both laughed at her. It was a big elaborate thing and it was something that it was consensual, that she wanted. This was all her idea. And so stuff like that is in the book.
That's amazing. Wow. That's great. I'm kind of like, I want that for myself.
No. I loved it so much I wrote about it.
Yeah, exactly. How much of this do you have? You've lived quite a life.
Yeah, I always thought that throughout the years, I wasted a lot of my life on drugs, right? And watching TV, shit like that, just wanting to be what I read about, wanting to be what I saw. And after, being with Lynn really just helped me, and opened up each other. We opened up each other's minds and hearts and whatever you want to call it, chakras or spirits. And after she died, life is short. Life is short, Tim. And all we have is really the moments that we lived. So instead of being a writer and read all this stuff, which is great, reading is wonderful, but if I'm going to write about something, I have to live it, right? I don't want to be a phony. I want to live the real thing. So that's why, my writing, it is chaotic. It's chaotic. I'm chaotic. I am who I am. So it's, but it's, the experiences are true and it's real. And I just feel like they should be written about, or the story should be told. You know what I mean? And I hopefully they'll resonate with other people. That's the goal.
I think it will. Your stories are I'm not trying to be shady or anything, but they're not singularly you, right? Even though they are uniquely your experience, but other people have experienced it in some way.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, and that's what I was also looking for. Everyone, and with my new book, I'm writing a new book called The Coolest Way to Save My Life, which is all about the liver transplant.
Oh, it's a sequel.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. It's a standalone book too, but it can be a sequel. It's about the liver transplant that I had, and it's crazy kinky and really. I want it to be uplifting at the same time, brutal. You know what I mean? But it all stems from. I think that we're all people. We're all we all bleed, we all come. We all make each other come. That's what we have in common. Yeah, we're all that. So if my story is fucked up as it is, someone else can relate to it, I'm sure. And hopefully they can, because that makes us less alone. That's why I like doing the podcast and having all these different fetishes all over the world. So Your Kinky Friends, the YKF, the podcast, I get emails from people saying thanks for not making me feel alone. That means a lot to me, because so long I've had this fetish. Like, I looked at magazines or porn or something like that, and I felt like I was a freak. I felt like I was the only person, and I wasn't harming anybody. Panties is not that crazy of a fetish. It's really tame compared to most shit out there. You know what I mean?
Do you find your kink journey developing in some way?
Yes, it's always. The rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm into things now that I never thought, and I'm getting bored of things now that I never thought I'd be. You know what I mean? It's weird because, like, when you first start off, right, especially like anything deal with like cross-dressing, or like just getting your hands on clothing is a challenge. And then meeting someone who understands you and who can exercise that and not charge you money, is a challenge as well. So the more you live, the more you kind of get used to it. And so, I mean, I wear panties all the time, right? And it's not that big of a deal. Like, a big fucking deal wearing panties. Like, it's not that big. It's fabric. It's fabric. You know what I mean? So, but 20 years ago, it would be like, oh my God, what does this mean? This is symbolic of am I a horrible person? Fuck that. Yeah, no, we're human beings. We're all, and that's what it's all about, making connections. And I think that the kink community, as opposed to other subcultures, and I love subcultures, come from punk rock, hip hop, rave culture, all that stuff. Even DC Go-Go, or the poets out in Oakland and stuff like that. It's all, the kink culture has, first of all, because it's all based on sex, which is based on life. It's based on life, right? So we're all kind of continuing. And we're just going to do it in a whimsical, kinky, quirky way, right? It's still living. It's still life. And, big deal. You're wearing panties. Big deal. You like to fuck someone in the ass. Great. It's awesome. That's where the prostate is. Find out. Explore each other. It's a beautiful thing. What the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously, people. Oh my God, don't get me started on the right wing. But that's the thing. It's about connection. It's life, man. I love talking with you, Tim. You know why? Because it reminds me I'm alive. And it makes me feel good about myself. And that's what sex is all about. That's what it should be.
Yes, I agree. Sex is such a great reminder that we are still here. We're people.
Yeah. When I came out of the transplant, it was a week of like a coma and in and out of drugs. But like once I was lucid, you know what? You know what did it for me? Sissy porn. I'm just looking through Twitter and Instagram, and all of a sudden I feel something in my cock, and I'm like, I'm back. I had music of D'Angelo in my head. I'm feeling good, right? I'm cruising.
D'Angelo of all the artists to play.
I am. Yeah. So yeah, it's life. You feel alive. That's what we need. That's what keeps us going.
Is that like what you want your readers to take away from your books?
Yes.
Just fuck.
Well, not just right, but live. The coolest way to kill yourself is to love. I was a selfish motherfucker. I was a horrible, horrible person. I sold drugs. I did drugs. I broke hearts. I was very reckless, very selfish. And that person's dead. Nick Tanek is not my real name. I killed off the old person I was and became Nick Tanek. And that's part of the art project. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is the coolest way to kill yourself is to love. So anyone who gets out of my book is that, live. You could change your life. You could live, but you could live it on your terms. Let's do it with love, because I killed off everything I hated about myself. And so it was like an emotional, metaphorical suicide in a way. You know, it's a love, like passion, energy, spirit.
I think the coolest way to kill yourself would be to cut your head off while you come. I think that would be so theatric.
Do you think, like a guillotine?
Yeah. So like you're jacking off.
Femdom guillotine. Fuck yeah, dude. Big, like a woman in corset boots. And like a guy and like the executioner. What kind of executioner is it?
Yeah. Like, can you imagine like you're jacking off and then like right before you come?
You know, it would be so interesting and so weird if someone was jacking you off, yet they were killing you at the same time. Like you got to wrap your head around that. What's going on in that?
That's hot. I think that would be so fucking hot.
This is all I do is think about sex shit all day.
Yeah. No, for real. I think it's so hot because, like, if somebody kills me, that means they chose me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have a new book. In a new book, I have a chapter called Murder Fuck Me. And it's about really my obsession with, like, it's kind of hot to be, like, you know, in that, to role play that, you know, of being stalked and murdered and you know, kidnapped. People get kidnapped for, you know, they pay money. I know people who kidnap people for fun, consensually, for money. You know what I mean? And it's elaborate and all that stuff. People want to be owned. They want to be owned. They're lonely. I personally like the whole chastity thing because it gives me a sense of worth. Almost. I use it that way. It could be two things. You could be like, you lock it, you don't need it, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I don't do that. The other route of the narrative of chastity for me is that my cock is so wonderful and big and you could use it anytime that no one should have it but me. Like it's mine. I use it. Like your cock is mine. I use it when I want. Blah blah blah. And trust me, I have fuck on a regular basis. Like, you know what I mean? So. Yeah, there's the other part. I like being killed, like being murdered. The symbolism of being owned or have someone pay that much attention to you.
That's so erotic, thinking that like for someone to put all of their focus and attention and like not just in the erotic way, but like, you know, in the serial killer way. Oh my God. That's hot.
The woman who, this is fucked up, but it's okay. My new book is about this really. So it's a liver transplant, but the woman I was living with was obsessed with true crime. And as much as she saved my life, she tried to kill me, like, cause she was mentally ill. So there is that tightrope of, well, it's emotionally, it's brutal. It's a maelstrom of emotions, right? It's hot sometimes and scary as can be as the next. It really is. So there is that. There is a danger to this. This is role play. We're talking about the hot, you know, the eroticism of role play, but it does get out of hand. Hell yeah,
it gets out of hand.
It gets out of hand. Yeah.
What do you mean it gets out of hand?
Meaning she tried to kill me with like a knife.
I'm sorry, I'm speechless right now.
I'm writing a whole book about, well, it's mental illness. It's not like an anger thing, or it, like, seriously, she had a mental breakdown, and it's very conflicting because I love this woman, I really did, and it's chemical. She had a mental, but she saved my life multiple times, and but eventually she had to be committed twice. In the mental institution twice. Yeah, it was very, very sad. I don't want to I'll get into the details in the book, but I'm writing all about it. And a lot of it deals with walking with that tightrope of someone trying to save your life while also, I don't want to say recklessly, but due to a mental illness have fits of rage. Where it's extremely dangerous. So, yeah. And put on kinky sex, chastity, whips, chains, all that. Add that to the mix, and it gets very complicated.
I can see how that can get complicated, but also, like, for the most part, that sounds really hot. Some of the hottest sex I've ever had was, like, violent.
Okay, what was the most violent sex you ever had?
The most violent sex?
That was good, that you actually enjoyed. Afterwards, that you look back and you're like, damn.
That's a hard one. Because they were all good, because I'm involved in it.
Yeah, of course.
I'd have to think about that one, because I think for me, the best sex, or not, maybe not the best, but like one of the most memorable times I've ever had sex was when I paid an escort, actually, to simulate a rape scene.
Okay.
And let me preface this. So I am a survivor of sexual trauma and sexual assault. So when I asked this escort to like pretend to drug me, I was able to like dictate the entire narrative of the whole session. We're going to pretend that this Splenda is a roofie and you're going to put it in my coat. I'm going to pretend to be like I am drugged and like I have no control of my body. And then I want you to do this exact thing to me, like slap me, punch me in the chest, only this hard. I want you to choke me and like put your foot on my face and drive it into the mattress while you pound me. And
wait, Jose, say they get put your foot or no, his foot on your face.
Yes. His foot on my face. So he's stepping on me.
As he's fucking you.
Yes. So can you imagine what that position is like? So, okay, let me try to describe it.
Is he facing, like, if your face... So is...
Okay, hold on. Let me describe it for you. So, me, I am on all fours, right? And my ass is up in the air, but instead of all fours, my face is in the mattress. So far, so good?
Yeah, so far. So
He's fucking me from behind, but he lifts up one leg to step on my face.
Yeah. Was he wearing sneakers?
No, I'm not into that. I want like a nice clean foot.
Crocs.
A croc. Yeah, basically. So anyways.
You're going to say like, I don't fuck people with Crocs.
I really don't. Crocs are a sign of wealth. I don't care who you are. If you have Crocs, it means you're rich. Get the hell out of my face. Because you literally bought an ugly thing. So, anyways, I asked him to do all of that, and it was really violent, but it was violence on my terms, and It was sex that helped me reshape a very traumatic event in my life. That's why it's memorable, and that's why it's one of my most favorite. I won't say the most favorite, but it's one of my most favorite times where I've had sex in that nature.
That reminds me, I wrote something called Baisse-moi. It's a chapter in this book, Your Kinky Friends, where my friend Randy, she basically wanted me to rape her, a consensual rape scene. And I didn't, she basically talked me into it. Basically, she forced herself to force me on her. I worked really hard on writing it to make sure it's written the right way. I had a lot of people look at it, a lot of women look at it, and it's a true story. She wanted me to. She had to talk me into it. She'd be like, "I want you to rape me. I want you to, go into the bathroom, and I want you to take me, and regardless of what I do or say." So I had to go in the bathroom. I write all about it. I had to go. I took a belt. I have this belt, right? That goes like this, right? But it's two.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to undo your belt into camera. I'm like, oh my God, Nick, I'm not ready for that.
No, I don't do this shit. But but it's got those. So I use that. So I come out of the bathroom she's in there and she's taunting me. It's like, come on, motherfucker, come on, So I go to the bathroom and I see handcuffs in the bathroom. I'm like, why do you have handcuffs in your bathroom, man? She's like, why wouldn't I have handcuffs in my bathroom? Right. So I go in there and I don't want to do this. I really like we fucked before, we had, and all this stuff. And, yeah, let's just say it happened and it's all in the book. I don't want to give it away, but at the very end, the chapter ends. I can give this away. At the end, she's like, that was great. Next time, let's use knives, So, yeah, read the book. It's very fun.
Well, fuck. Jesus, my jaw's on the floor. That is Your Kinky Friends. So, holy shit. I've got so many questions, but we only have so little time left here on the podcast. Where can people find your books, Nick?
They can find it on Amazon, on Goodreads, Barnes & Noble. It's special order. There are some bookstores, but I'm an independent guy. I pride myself on being independent. So all the readings I've done have been in very local, small, independent bookstores, mom and pop shops, so to speak. Shout out to Be Continued in Metuchen and Doylestown in Pennsylvania. Those are great bookstores. Yeah, but online you can get it. There's an ebook. All three are available in ebook versions. There's physical versions. Amazon, good read. You got my site and also my podcast, YKF. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Or just go to yourkinkyfriends.com. YOURKINKY friends.com. And you could see the podcast. You could see and watch my podcast with Tim. Wonderful. Great. Yeah. And
oh my God.
Support sex.
If people tune into the episode with me on it, they're going to notice quite a physical difference because I recorded that episode with you 80 pounds lighter. So
great.
Thank you.
You're like, what's going on? What happened?
I decided to get myself an intestinal parasite so I could never eat ever again.
Oh, dude. So this 80 pounds, this was unintentional?
It's completely. No. I got surgery.
I went from 200 to 130.
Wow. Yeah.
I looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was still kinky all the way through. Even when I couldn't get hard, I was still like, my mind was still like a erection.
It's such a staple quality of a dude just to think about your erection, whether you're straight or gay. Just goes to show that we're all fucking the same.
Yeah, we're all just walking erections. Really, look at it. We just spout out this stuff out of our mouth all the time. That's why we're just big cocks just walking around. And we just want to fuck everything. That's all. That's all we do. It's more the world. All I see, I look at the world, look at the news. Just see it. This dick is looking at this dick. This dick is looking at this.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. I don't know how to end it.
Side note, but I look very much. I want to say though, I always try to see the beauty and the kinky beauty of everybody. That's why I love the kink community. So I would like to end it on this note. See the beauty in others. As ugly as people can be, there's something beautiful about them. So just look.
Yeah, even if they're missing an eye or like a cleft lip or if they've got whites at the corner of their mouth.
My teeth are all messed up, but at the same time, what's more important, the teeth in my mouth or the words coming out of my mouth? You know what I mean?
Or the teeth in my asshole.
Or the teeth in your asshole. Now, have you ever bitten an asshole? Let's end it with that. Have you ever bitten an asshole?
Yes.
What is it like? Does it taste? It kind of remind you of calamari?
Calamari?
Because they look like
onion rings. Onion rings. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all the time that we've got. But Nick, I wanted to thank you again so much for coming on the show. You've been amazing. For all of you chlamydiacs that made it this far into this chaotic ass conversation, do not forget to buy Nick's books, The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself and Your Kinky Friends. Your Kinky Friends is also the name of Nick's podcast. Check it out on his YouTube channel. I'm going to link everything that you heard today in the show notes. And while you're still here, do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe, because you are supporting sex education content, queer content. And if you don't, then you're homophobic, you are a racist, and you're basically an asshole if you don't support the show. So you've been warned. I do not make the rules. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast, and I will see you all at the next episode. Bye! Thanks for listening to the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Sex Ed with Tim is created and produced by me, Tim Lagman. Music is Aces High by Kevin MacLeod. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GaySlutClown and at Sex Ed with Tim. You can also like and follow me on the Sex Ed with Tim Facebook page. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for all your support, you dirty little slut. Mwah.